So this video is to get you caught up on the ball if you don't have a moving ball and a moving paddle. So right now your game should have a ball that bounces and the paddle that moves, and the ball should bounce off the paddle. So if you don't have that, let's just take a look at the code. First I'm going to go to the ball class. So you start your ball class with 3 variables. And we aren't even using the radius variable right now, but we will be. Then you go and make a constructor. This is a constructor. Notice it has the same name as the class. And all we do in the constructor is set our speed in the x direction and our speed in the y direction. We set them both to 5. You can change those if you'd like, but that's how we're going to start. The act method, we have 3 things: move ball, bounce, and check paddle. And I'll show you each of those methods right now. Check the paddle just checks to see if the ball is touching a paddle. If it is, then we change its direction. Basically, speed equals negative speed. So if my speed was 5, I'm changing it to negative 5, and the ball is moving in a different direction there. Next is move ball. So move ball, all we're doing is setting the location to its current location, that's get x, plus the speed of the ball. In this case it would be 5. So it would take the current position and move it 5 in the x, move it 5 in the x, move it 5 in the x. And we have the same thing with the y. We're getting its current y location and moving it the speed y, so we're moving it down 5 each time. This line was just to check, I'm actually going to comment that out. This line was just to check what is the current position of the ball, just the x position of the ball. And you don't actually need that, so that's why I put these 2 forward slashes. That comments it out. Finally, we have bounce, and this looks at all 4 sides and bounces the ball off the side. So if get x is greater than 800, what does that mean? Well, that means that the ball is over here on the right hand side. If it's greater than that, we want to switch the direction. Over here this is less than 0, so if it's less than 0, we also want to switch the direction of the ball. So that's what's happening here. If the x is greater than 800, switch the speed of the ball. So the ball was 5, but we change it to negative 5, and it's now moving to the left instead of the right. Same thing here. If it goes less than 0, we're going to switch the speed, and this is the y direction. Make sure that you're changing all of these to y's. That would be a big mistake if any of these said x there. Okay, that's the ball class. Now let's take a look at the paddle. The paddle just has one method. It's called move. And let's take a look at it. It's pretty simple. We get the mouse info. So we go to Greenfoot and say, hey, grab the mouse information. This we just have to set a y position. Here we're checking to see if the mouse exists in the game. And now what does that mean? That means the mouse is actually on the game board. Here the mouse is on the game board. Over here the mouse is not on the game board, so it doesn't exist. That would make it null if it doesn't exist. Here it exists. So here I'm checking to see, does it exist? So if it does not equal null, that means it actually exists. So I set my y position to the y position of the mouse. And then I just set my location to my current x value and whatever that y position is that I got there. And that's it. That should get you to this point here where you have a ball that moves and a paddle that moves up and down with the mouse.